Let's get this going. All right, y'all. Peace and greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazil Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Guys, welcome to our Impromptu Improv for the completion. We're completing the last 9 pages for Clock of Destiny book 2. Happy Holy Venus degree to ye all. I'm really looking forward to just, today, of course, and, next day, Saturday, is TUPAC, astrology concept correction discussion we usually have on Saturdays. And then Sunday, we will be complete our Holy Quran devotional countdown also on the day where also it's allegedly daylight savings time, right? Where there, once 2 p.m. strikes, it'll be 3 p.m., right? So very, very, very interesting time right now. And I'm grateful and thankful for, my studies these past 10 years. Of course, 10 years will be complete by November. And just being able to share my experience, my maturation, being able to grow as I study and share these things. I trust that, these videos are valuable to, the Moorish community now and just people universally speaking, especially with me knowing what I know by being a student when it comes to the divinely prepared literature by Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the literature authored by C.M. Bay, and then being able to glean that which I can that has been shared pertaining to Emmanuel Dende Ali, Ben Beck, right? Written and reconstructed history as Benjamin Banneker. And so to really just be able to have the know-how pertaining to the universal laws as shown in the 12 signs of the Zodiac, I'm very thankful and grateful that I have sought the kingdom of heaven, sought the kingdom of righteousness, right? Which is within me, which is, and it's within all of us. So that now that this graduation has taken place for myself, I'll be able to have all these things added unto me. And I trust that y'all have a similar experience already and really enjoy this thing. And I get it. It's only for those of us that have been destined to take on this study and be ourselves and be on the path pertaining to self-mastery. So I just wanted to express my gratitude. I'm grateful and thankful for all the experiences I've had, any and everyone I've ever interacted with in any way, shape, or form. I'm just very thankful and grateful, as I know I'm, preparing for this graduation. All right. So with that being said, guys, let's get started. All right. Let's have some fun. All right. And we're going to go into these final pages pertaining to Clock of Destiny Book 2. However, first, we are definitely going to do our invocation in terms of the Moorish American prayer, and we are going to read the 2 letters to be read in every meeting. All right. Go and grab this monitor here. Happy Holy Venus degree in Islam to Mother Karmisha Bey. She says Islam, Moor, Islam, Mother Karmisha. And Mother Sahar L says Happy Holy Venus degree to everyone, guys. If you missed yesterday, we are still able to take donations for the archived recording. Mother Sahar gave an amazing presentation on nutrition fruition, and it was really amazing because while she was presenting, she encouraged, interaction while she was doing the presentation. And it just really gave a feeling of community when really discussing, you know, nutrition fruition and discussing how, we have viewed nutrition in our communities and initially within our own thinking. And so we still have that available for you guys that want to make a donation of any size, trust to be respectful, a respectable size. However, a donation nonetheless that you can be able to get your hands on the archive video. All right. And we will make sure you are able to have that link to the video so that, you can enjoy what we enjoy. All right. So, yes, sincere gratitude, Moksar, indeed. Right. So with that being said, right. And I guess, from here on out, I'll announce it again too on Sunday about getting the archive. If you guys want the archive. Brother Derek Blashbay says, Happy Holy Venus degree, everyone. Indeed, Brother Derek, Happy Holy Venus degree to you. And I'll let you know. All right. So let's get started, guys. We're here in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. We see here on page 48, handsomely standing Dugard in his Moor Shari Spez and Abba is Prophet Noble Ali. Dun L says Islam, and Islamism. Love, peace to the family, high honors to the Prophet. Indeed, Brother Dun. Indeed, Islam. Happy Holy Venus degree again to you all. Standing Dugard in his handsomely standing Dugard in his Moor Shari Spez and Abba, Prophet Noble Ali. Right, and we're here with the Moorish American prayer, our invocation in terms of Moorish American prayer. Everyone can extend all 5 appendages on the left hand. It's the index and middle on the right. You can hold your hands like this while standing on a 45-degree angle. You see Prophet Noble Ali's feet there. And we're going to face east, which metaphysically denotes within, which I think is important to kind of to know these things, especially for those that are really working on getting themselves out of the mystery belief system type thinking, even those that may have a mystery belief system thinking pertaining to astrology. All right. So we're going to stand and face east, 5 on the left, 2 on the right, stand on the 45, and you can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. All righty, guys. Let's get to the first letter to be read in every meeting out of the 2 that we are to read. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was a joke. Claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finances badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali. Now we're here in the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, and on page 12, handsomely standing due guard in this Moorish says, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And on page 13, divine warning by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets and on the internet. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And now let's rock and roll, right? Even more than what we are right now. I'm going to do these last 9 pages of Clock of Destiny Book 2. Mother Karmisha says, honors Mother Sahar, and yes, to providing a link. Yeah, indeed. You know, whatever your donation is, Mother Karmisha, and anyone else who would like to partake in that, you guys already know. You know, the Cash App, just send your donation to the Cash App, and I'll make sure you have access to that. Right? Because you guys already know, I will make sure things are archived and make sure you have them. All right. So yes, thanks again for your interactions in the chat and your excitement there also. So with that being said, scientific symbols of the zodiac. So here we're looking at Master's seal of the 490 degrees, 5,400 miles each, right? The square and angle, right? That's how you circle the square, right? All right. With that being said, let's continue. Now, to the right, we see the trine, right? 7,200 miles each for 120 degrees. All right. A triangle. The level term is negative, which is not, you know, a bad thing. And the plumb line termed positive. All right. So that's the scientific symbols of the zodiac. All right. Being able to, you know, it could be, you know, instruments like this, transparencies that could be laid over top of, you know, like a zodiac, you know, and you can see where these lines are, right? That's why even, you know, in a lot of charts that you may see me bring up on screen at times, even those in TUPAC, we get to look at many different types of charts. And you'll see that there will be aspects actually in the center of the chart. However, there are multiple ways of viewing this here, right? All right, Mother Sahar says, gratitude to Mother Karmisha, indeed. All right. Had not the Moorish nation established the science of geometry, there would be no way of calculating months, seasons, and years, and the measurement of time and global geography upon the above diagram. The Moorish nation established the dollar system and the four quarters of the dollar, which represent the four quarters of the earth. The dollar system was handed down to the Franciscan fathers of North America by the Moorish nation. That is the basic reason why the U.S.A. dollar has ranked superior over all other monies of the Christian nations of the world today. The four quarters of the U.S.A. Moorish dollar represents human equality, moral principle, justice, peace, economic and social progress on a universal scale. The Moorish nation violated their own dollar system by imposing taxes upon the Amazon, quote unquote, white people without representation, which resulted in the fall of the Moors and the rise of the Union Order in 1863. From 1863 to the present, the Amazon, quote unquote, white people have imposed taxation upon the Moorish descendants referred to as Negroes without representation, which has resulted in the fall of the Union Christian Order on a universal scale and the rise of civilization on a universal scale. It's very interesting too, because I just read something too recently. Shout out to my beloved brother that shared it with me. And just looking at some more comprehension of how those that were participants, students around CM Bay, were even analyzing things like the quote unquote Boston Tea Party, because Moors in this particular document was speaking on Moors who were coffee drinkers were heavily taxing pale skins who were tea drinkers. And so since Moors back then brought karma on their descendants, that's why the pale skin was, given the means to do what has been done. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that karma has taken place and now both sides have suffered at the hands of one another. And that's why now the only thing that is to rise is civilization on a universal scale. No more of Moors enslaving and over empowering pale skins. No more of the pale skins and enslaving and overpowering the descendants of Moors that were defeated due to the corruption of those that, just turned their back on their ancient foremothers and forefathers' mindsets. Because again, you really didn't get until about 1854 what you may think is, the United States, how you look at it now, and the Christian orders and all these things. That stuff is contemporary. In other words, it's pretty new, pretty modern as far as happening within the 19th century, which is the 1800s. All right. So that's no disrespect to anyone. That is me doing what I do, and that is tell the truth. Both, namely the Moor and the Franciscan Anglo-Saxons, are equally guilty of violation of the dollar system and therefore had to pay the penalty through war and bloodshed and fall. And honestly, as I've read before and said plenty of times, even though I, said to myself, because I am, happy with my preference, especially, you know what I mean, when it comes to, women specifically, and of course, with my consort, all right, my beloved mother mistress consort. I never saw me being one who was assisting, so to speak, in the bloodening back. I never saw me being with an Albion daughter, so to speak, and that's not me being rude, honestly. It's just me saying what my preference is. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there, both Moorish sons and mothers, who may take on for the sake of unity and the bloodening back, and because it has to happen through the cross-sexual relations. All right. And so, the evilness and the hatred because someone has pale skin or someone has copper tone skin, that's not really helping towards the rise pertaining to civilization on a universal scale. So since both Moors and Franciscan Anglo-Saxons are equally guilty, now it's time to really get over ourselves and do what is necessary, right? Just that the pale skins feared being enslaved again by Moors with this knowledge. However, that's over with. Actually, that's ding ding. That's done. There's universal, unity that needs to happen. Right, needs to be civilization. Food for initiated Masons. 3rd, 32nd, 33rd, and 360 degrees. The sons of a widow woman are the only supreme beings of whom can stand in the form of a cross, 5-pointed star, and a straight line, whether standing erect or lying down. So, that's true. If we stand with our arms out, feet together, that's a cross. If we stand with our feet apart, wide, and still have hands up, it looks like a 5-point, right? Head, hands, and feet being the points. Standing in a straight line with our hands together and feet together, whether we're, standing perpendicular to the ground or lying parallel with the ground, right? Or you can have your hands by your side too, and necessarily have to have your hands above your head together. All right. And so that's very true. All right. When sons are lying asleep, they are lying on the dead level. And when standing erect, they are perpendicular at right angle of 90 degrees to their previous position on the dead level. When sons stand erect, their heads represent the North Pole and their feet represent the South Pole. When lying on a dead level, their heads represents east and their feet represents west. So these positions of suns form the universal cross, which represents latitude, north and south, and longitude, east and west. This fact makes woman and sons the great I am in life, creation and perfection. In other words, the foundation of geometry. That's why we are law. And that's why I said, man, like, if nothing else, I know that sharing what I've been sharing, how I've been sharing it, where this is now video number 506. By Sunday, it'll be video 507. What I'm recognized is I'm very grateful and thankful for this journey. I know I'm going to forever still be a student. Just wanted to additively say, to be able to read this material over and over again throughout the years, it just shows how far my mind is removed from the dogma that can also be called religious mystery, or the astrological mythology stuff, you know what I mean, that has been used to really create uncivilized events on the planet. And I trust that what I've done within these 10 years of study, and then with these 500 plus videos, is to be able to share my maturation with ye all that I've seen it live or see it, as a replay, and I've been able to really share that, my mind is really far removed from that thing. And I trust this helps you all too. You just don't go along to get along, so that you don't feel like people won't accept you because you're not participating in the mysteries and mythologies and isms and all of that really just boils down to humanity's fall. All right. You can love yourself and, and with this knowledge, and be way above and well above. Alrighty. having to go along to get along because people don't have this at least 720 degree knowledge, right? 360 here around my immediate head and 360 above, you know, at least 720 degrees, right? Suns can also stand in the form of a cross with their arms extended from each side. They can also stand in the form of a five-pointed star with their feet far apart. Their head, number one, their right arm, number two, their left arm, number three, their right foot, number four, their left foot, number five. Thus, suns represent the five great principles of woman's universal supreme perfections in the course of 9 months. Islam. The six-pointed star of the Moorish nation, referred to as the quote-unquote Jewish Star of David. I'm going to read that again, that title there. The six-pointed star, or hex alpha, of the Moorish nation, referred to as the quote-unquote Jewish Star of David. That's the title for this next section. The first triangle represents the north gate, the summer seasons, and the second represents the south gate, the winter season. These two angles together form a six-pointed star, summer and winter, or north and south. All there is. As above, so below, or the two tables of stone, right? 2 tablets of stone. Moses brought the 2 tablets of stone. You guys are getting the Masonic secrets, right? You didn't have to bend over or be sexually, threatened. You know what I mean? Let me get Clock of Destiny book 2 behind me off the shelf so I can read this portion here, right? Let me get to it for you all, right? All right. And what I'll do is I'll pull my iPad down so you all can actually see what I'm reading from, right? So let me stop the screen share. So at least I can get through this page and I'll come back and screen share right here since this is a little light. And I know I could read from Clock of Destiny book 2 and just have you guys look at this screen, but I won't do that to you all. What I'll do is I'll stop the screen share here and I will turn this camera around so you all can see this, right? I'm hitting OK. Alrighty, so now we are here. So the next section that we're reading, and let me just double check to make sure, all right? Land of Nod as shown in the Zodiac to religious mystery, namely Islamism, Judah, right? Or Jesuitism, right? Jesuitism or Catholicism. And it stops at ignorance. Let me see where the word ignorance is. All right. Let me make sure that's what I'm looking at. Segregation and ignorance. Where do we see? Is it on the next page? Unless I'm missing. Oh no, it's all here. Slavery. Let me just make sure. Right. I guess I'm looking at the right one. Above mentioned, right? Religious worship and
Okay, segregation right there. Ignorance. I see it. Segregation and ignorance. And then I'll come back and share the screen because on the what I showed you guys, it's a little different, right? But now you guys can see where I'm going. So I'll go back and screen share where it gets clear again, right after I read where it says ignorance, crime, uh, ignorance, crime, supposed to be war. I know it says where war, bloodshed, and human and property destruction. Human destruction, property destruction. Alrighty, land of Nod. Let's do it, guys. Me cometh on backeth heareth. All right. The land of Nod is shown in the zodiac. The sixth sign, Virgo, 180 degrees, as shown in the diagram of the 12 signs of the zodiac in September, when the sun enters the sign Virgo, the last month and sign in the northern hemisphere, which marks the end of the summer season and the beginning of the fall season, are referred to in mystic religions as mystic religions and secret orderism as the land of Nod, meaning North Pole. In the science of astrology and electronics, the North Pole is referred to as node or anode, and the South Pole, as shown in 12 signs, Pisces, in the diagram of the zodiac in March, the last month of the year, are referred to in the science of astrology and electronics as cathode, meaning negative, opposite of the positive North Pole. As shown, it's funny how he put shown like that, in the sign of Virgo, anode or node or nod, right? 180 degrees and 360 degrees. The positive North Pole is there. The positive electric current flows to the negative North Pole, cathode, which is responsible for perpetual motion of the Earth's annual revolution of 360 degrees or days. And spring, summer, fall, and winter, north, south, east, and west. The rays of the sun in the seventh sign Libra, as shown in the diagram of the zodiac, are referred to in Bible mystery as Ham, meaning the fall season, October. When the rays of the sun enter the sign Aries and usher in the spring season, April, are referred to in the Bible mystery as Cush or Cush, meaning rebirth of plant life and planting season, or the vernal equinox and the fall equinox. Here you are referred to the diagram of the zodiac 180 degrees and 360 degrees, and thereby recognize the universal fact. And it's interesting too, because when looking up the words considered, I remember one time I did a presentation before and I spoke on the word considered and the word suppose. And supposition or supposing something is very cathodic, right? Which is Catholic, right? So I had associated the cathode energy with the Catholic energy, so to speak. Like that's what was being used by those. They were using the cathodic energy. And I looked at Prophet Noble Drew Ali using the anodic energy. All righty. So if cathode brought up Catholicism, could Prophet Noble Drew Ali doing anode, was that analysis? But why the isms after one actually has, like we've done and will be complete by Sunday, have gone through the Quran, Zodiac Constitution, and Clock of Destiny Book 1 and Clock of Destiny Book 2. We now have reference and shared presentation where even me sharing, according to my studies thus far, how I see these things. It's just that sometimes I go into my thinking in a way where it's like the universe just gives me further downloads and making comparative, um, you know, observations. All right. Religious mystery, namely Islamism, right? Because, and, no disrespect to anyone, but, I get it. A lot of Moors, when they first come into this, it's like, oh, Islamism is our religion. Well, that's because that's where you fell. So you got to come back to where you fell and then correct that and get out of that, because that's where we fell. And there's nothing negative as much as it's helping us to recognize that, first of all, there's no way out. We got to fix these things. And eventually we'll let go of the isms. All right. That doesn't mean that we're being dishonorable or disloyal by letting go of the isms, right? Because even Islam is, when people misplaced astrology, so to speak, to a certain degree, and use, mystery and mythology with the astrology to still unfairly control people. And this is the reason why we are to solve our social and economic issues properly with astrology, instead of using it to further bring mysticism and mythology in the minds of our loved ones. Because right now, again, the order of the day is nationality. And with that comes civilization, the rise pertaining to civilization on a universal scale. All right. So here we go. Religious mystery, namely Islamism, Judah or Jesuitism, or Catholicism. The above mentioned religious isms, superstitions, are founded upon the negative South Pole, cathode, from which were derived from terms Catholic and the church, temple and mosque, system of mystic gods, prophets, superstitions, religious worship. So this is probably why some people erroneously say, oh, the prophet kicked CMB out of the temple and these people weren't there or whatever. However, what I see is that Prophet Ali did the opening things that were necessary, and CMB was to complete these things for those Moors that were able to be washed off. When what was washed off is the religious isms, the superstitions, the mystery and mythology that, make people wreak havoc on their immediate loved ones and other peoples on the planet. All right. And so that's what I see Prophet Noble Drew Ali bringing. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't want people just, oh, we're going to be in the temple and we're going to sing hymns where we replace Jesus with Prophet Noble Drew Ali and replace God with Allah in these church hymns. That's not the purpose. However, it still provides a bit of protection for those people doing that, because they have been retarded in their spirit. And I'm not being mean when I say that. I'm saying that they're unable to, at the moment, obviously, grow to the point where they can let go the religious isms, superstitions, mysticisms, and mythologies without being able to transmute those things that I just listed, being able to pull their brothers and mothers out of the shallow grave of ignorance and uncivilized mindset. And continuing, and sultanate priesthood dictatorship and human mental slavery, religious denominations, human hatred, fear, segregation, ignorance, crime, war, bloodshed, and human destruction and property destruction. As the result of negative culture contrary to unity, peace, justice, truth, and economic and social progress. The teachers and followers of all religions are referred to in Bible mystery as the children of Abel and Seth. Abel, quote unquote, and Seth, meaning priesthood, sultanate, dictatorship. kings and queens, or the royal family. These things aren't hard, guys. It's just, if you can handle letting these things go, you'll be able to enjoy your studies like I enjoy the studies. And as promised, pardon me, wrong camera button, I'm going to now go and screen share so that I don't have to, hold the iPad there. All right, go back and share the screen now. And at the top is where I just got finished reading. As you can see, both books are set a little differently. However, it is what it is. We can continue to read appropriately. All right. So now in moving forward, came the children of light. And guys, that last one we just read, man, it's like you see all the, the religious-isms, superstitions, mysteries, and mythologies and all that's done is it's hurt us. The negative, that's happened. It's a culture that's contrary to unity, peace, justice, truth, and economic and social progress. And this is why families can't get along. This is why beings in neighborhoods can't get along, because on a massive scale, it is needed for people to do what we've been doing these past few Fridays and Sundays, to be able to be brought out of the shallow grave by the lion's paw grip pertaining to our presentation and sharing this truth. And at the end of the day, ye either want to remain in your shallow grave pertaining to disunity, war, injustice, falsehood, and economic and social havoc. You can stay in your shallow grave, or you can do what is necessary and be brought out of it. And I get it. A lot of people are living their lives, opposite pertaining to truth. They would much rather deal with the falsehood belief system pertaining to superstitions, religious isms, mythology, and mystery. And it's really unnecessary. And it's ultimately a crime against humanity, because it's an injustice unto themselves, those that participate therein. Came the children of light. The women and sons who rebelled against the negative system of Cathodism between 1789 and 1863, North America, are referred to as the children of Cain, or the sons and daughters of light, meaning scientific knowledge of the universal law of the Moorish nation as shown in the 12 signs of the Zodiac. So now you can see how, quote unquote, Cain killed Abel, right? Knowledge kills mystery. Scientific knowledge kills mystery. How eventually, truth kills belief by way of faith. You get rid of belief through faith, get rid of faith through fruition, through truth. So you get rid of Bible mystery via scientific knowledge. And, I know there's some Moors out there, maybe even some Clock of Destiny people that may disagree with how I've shared metaphysics. However, I know how I intentionally use that as a means and a tool to transmute the energy pertaining to ignorance into that which people can then see how Bible mystery can immediately be removed from their thinking by just seeing something like the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, so that they can see that these are just events happening within their own consciousness. And that will then, like for myself, even though I was never really steeped in belief, it made it easier for me to be far removed from immature belief systems. All right. And again, I shared this without you guys having to do anything strange in a lodge at a secret meeting with a secret grip and handshake and password. Not knocking you people that do it. I just, you know, I think you could have, you know, just been patient and studied like this. Like, it is what it is. Those Amazon, quote unquote, white sons and daughters of Cain in North America are referred to as the mystic Turks, quote unquote, or the Arabian Nights, quote unquote, or Cain, who slew Abel and went to the land of Nod. Right? You guys have all that stuff, quote unquote, went to the land of Nod. And now you guys have the unvelations to these things. It has been unveiled. There's no need to remain in mystery and belief. Some people are too old for belief systems. Like you should. Shouldn't people stop making believe when they're like, once you finish with adolescence? Like, people actually have an imaginary friend God out there. You know, it's pretty interesting to see, you know, grown people still entertaining an imaginary friend God thingy, which is just the misplacement pertaining to them going within themselves and really seeing that this really just pertain what God is a calling upon of their own wisdom, knowledge, reasoning, etc. All right. Mother Sahar says, indeed, truth kills belief. Yes, it does. All right. Now we're at, he met his wife whom he had never seen, yet they both knew each other. Well, Cain's wife is the sixth sign Virgo of the zodiac, the halfway sign of the stomach and earth. 180 degrees east longitude, the North Gate, which culminates in the deep waters of Boston, Massachusetts, Commonwealth. U.S.A. Anode, node, or the land of Nod. G, geometry has never told a lie. The square and angle of 90 degrees, or the square and compass, which is the universal law of the Moorish nation, referred to as Negroes. I don't know, like, do you really want to keep embracing being called Negro, Black, Colored, African American, Indian? You want to still take on those crimes of universal law names? Those names are a crime, universally speaking. Why keep being referred to as these things when we're just completely the Moorish nation, collectively on the entire planet? Why we got to stop the beefing, stop the war and bloodshed. Key of civilization. Geometry is the universal law of perfection. The science of the cultured Moors, which has and always will be in the hands of the kinky-haired Moors of North America. Thus, the Moorish nation of North America, referred to as Negroes, cannot be destroyed. The cycle of global war generated by cathode priesthood dictatorship behind closed doors will redeem the Moorish nation of North America during Global War III. Read that again. The cycle of global war generated by cathode priesthood dictatorship behind closed doors will redeem the Moorish nation of North America during Global War III. The sons and daughters of Cain, quote unquote, white, referred to as Masons and Eastern Stars, are the one who have protected the Moorish key of civilization of the North Gate so as to prevent the sons and daughters of Abel of the negative cathode or Catholic religious order from ever becoming president and the first lady of the land, even though the powers of the sons and daughters of Abel have made the North Gate very dark owing to organized priesthood religious dictatorship. Yeah, no, guys, you guys probably trying to take that in like, hold on. So the Masons and Eastern Stars is real. Yeah, they're look, if they're the keepers of the light, we're the light. If they're the Shriners, we're the shrine. So they're really protecting us. They're really protecting our keep attaining the civilization. I just know, once again, like how my preference isn't to be with an Albion daughter. My preference isn't to be a part of some large organization, to have to undergo some death oath to. And again, like that's why I'm saying, if you guys have ears to hear, I'm not knocking people that do those things. I'm just saying that that's not my preference, nor is that the order of the day for me. That's why I freely share this. 720 degrees. Freeborn. Master Mason and Eastern Star. I am that I am. Continuing. Nevertheless, the 3rd, 32nd, and 33rd degrees, sons and daughters of Cain, have held their own towards safeguarding the North Gate. As for this act, the sons and daughters of Cain shall rise in unity with the Moorish nation to never fall again. Tubal Cain, quote unquote, 180 degrees. The I am, the great I am, the widow's sons of 9, North America. See how I just said it again. There's these beings who will, rise with the Moorish nation. See, I'm completely fine with getting what I needed to get, being just a member pertaining to the Moorish nation. And having the knowledge that I need. And not being mean or evil or angry towards anyone who makes any decision. However they do their decisions, cool, that's fine. It doesn't reflect on my character. Again, I am that I am. I know I am. Freeborn Master Mason and Eastern Star. And need not to be made over again. Respectfully, for those again who have eyes to see and ears to hear, there is zero arrogance or conceit in my voice, demeanor, or presentation. And that's why, again, I thank you all for observing, those who have been watching closely, my maturation through this. Wise mind changes often. A wise man changes his mind often. There's nothing wrong with those changes, right? The following are the Latin alphabetical symbols of the Moorish nation referred to as Egyptian, Hebrew, Greek, Arabic, and English. Latin or Arabic symbols of the alphabet. As expressed in Arabic, names of them in English, or the names of them in English. So we see what is in Latin or the Arabic symbol of the alphabet, Aleph, and we see A, and we see the Ba, which is B, we see the Da, which is the D or C, and then we see the Tha, which is the TH diphthong for th, or the D, see, th, or d, same thing. If you just kind of, play with the phonetics, you'll see. There is no alphabet that can go beyond the above alphabetic symbols of the Moabite and Moorish nation, the fathers of civilization. There's no alphabet that can go beyond the above alphabetical symbols of the Moabite and Moorish nation, the fathers of civilization. The following is the Moorish color code of electronics, which describes the unit of resistance, current, and voltage. All right. So resistance would be the gauge of a wire, how like the thickness of the wire. That's how resistance will be expressed, and it's usually represented by R in an EIR table. E for electromotive force, which is pressure, and that electromotive force or electric pressure is known as voltage. The I, which is intensity, pertains to amperage, which is the current. So E is voltage, the electromotive force or the electric pressure known as voltage. I is the intensity pertaining to amperage, which is the current. And R is the resistance pertaining to the gauge, the thickness pertaining of the wire measured in ohms. Ohms, right? 0 symbolizes black, 1 symbolizes brown, 2 symbolizes red, 3 symbolizes orange, 4 symbolizes yellow, 5 symbolizes green, 6 symbolizes blue, 7 symbolizes violet, 8 symbolizes gray, 9 symbolizes white or light. This is the foundation of creation of the world and the universal code, which enables woman, the widow, and sons to harness the invisible forces of nature, namely electricity, atomic energy, radio, and television, and defy the laws of gravitation by floating in space, and also conquer the depths of the high seas, and all of the elements of the earth, plant, animal, insect, fish, fowl, reptile, and human body. 0 symbolizes the universal mind of woman who represents the whole of creation, space, and time, or father time. Where she came from, no one knows. Right? And I know if we go back to 0, I don't want people like, but 0 symbolizes black. So that means this. Look, again, you guys are taking it too far, because I know some people want to try to go, oh, so that means, so it's the black woman. So when we say the black woman, then what we going to do, even though we aren't Moorish, we're going to say, when we say black woman, we mean the woman who's the whole of creation, space, and time, or father time. Like, don't do it, because you haven't taken your time to really study this sincerely. You're just trying to say something that's quippy for next time you want to go and do a lecture somewhere or write a book and sell it. So where she came from, no one knows, right? So people could be in the dark about that, right? However, my fez is black. So, maybe that's also symbolizing, mastery, right? Because she's the master, right? The Sharif, right? That's who she is. However, people calling themselves black people or white people, it's like, nah, that's a misuse of that coding system for electricity. that's a misuse. All right, Brother Derek Blashbase says, not me either. Right. The following is a reprint forecast of my publication, Clock of Destiny, Book 1, 1947. In geography and astrology, the terms degrees and parallels are similar. Thus, the 40th degree of north latitude involves the mystic royal crown of rulership of the Franciscan Roman cross nation of the world today. The 40th parallels north. Fresno, California, Denver, Colorado, Springfield, Illinois, Columbus, Ohio, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Wheeling, West Virginia, and across the Atlantic Ocean to Madrid, Spain, Flers, France, Larissa, Greece, Turkey, Korea, and the Sea of Japan, and across the Pacific Ocean back to California, U.S.A. All of which lies on the 40th degree of north latitude of the geographical zodiac. This 40th degree of north latitude involves World War III, which will result in the restoration of civilization of Islam. I am civilized. And again, Islam, to some degree, has been, astrological mystery and mysticism, what I mean? So that's been the misuse. However, this Islam, where we have the I self law and master, the I am, this is different. So remember, guys, there's always polarity to energy, right? So it's always being able to see things in context and knowing the context and knowing the degree of the polarity also, so that you can be able to comprehend what's written, so that you're not, oh, it's confusing. Oh, that's double speak. That's forked tongue talk. That's double talk. No, that's for people that obviously can't comprehend like I'm sharing my comprehension. If you wish a copy of the 1947 publication, you might mail a money order for $3 to 2633 East 41st Street, Cleveland 4, Ohio, CM Bay. Look at that, man. Extra facts worth knowing: how the days of the days of the week got their names. First day of the week, first day, Sunday, proton, positive, the center of attraction. Sunday is derived from Shamsun, Latin meaning Sunday, sulfur, gold, copper, and granite. Atomic elements from Mexico to North Canada and from New Orleans, St. Louis, and Chicago lies in the region of the sun. So rude when people call, and I know people know I be live. All right. So let's continue. Trust I'm still sharing screen there. Right. Let's get to it. Atomic elements from Mexico to North Canada and from New Orleans, St. Louis, and Chicago lies in the region of the sun, the sign Leo, the Golden Gate in California. The human heart is the vital organ of the sun. Second day, moon, electron, negative, the circle of the center of gravity, which governs the human mind, feeling, and muscles. Indeed, Mother Sahara, great. I just want to make sure I'm still sharing. Indeed. Yeah, and I can see it too. I just want to make sure you guys can hear too. It's all good. All right, appreciate you. Monday is derived from Cameron. All right, so I'm going to say Cameroon or Cameron. Cameron, Latin meaning moon day. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to maybe go and get this Clock of Destiny book again off the shelf to make it so you guys can see. And that I shall do. All right. So let me again take this down. All right. And I shall stop the screen share. And now let me turn this camera around and let's continue. All right. Here we go. So we're here. Cameron, Latin meaning moon day. Water, air, salt, and silver. Biology. The moon is exalted in the islands of the Philippines and Japan, Korea, and U.S.S.R. in the sign Taurus. Third day, Mars, voltage. Tuesday is derived from tu, Latin, meaning Mars, the force of evolution, iron, steel, construction, and industry. Mars is exalted in the Union, South Africa, in the Capricorn sign, the South Gate. Equal education memory. The human subconscious mind, the reasoning mind, and the superconscious mind represent the God of creation. Let's do this again so you guys know. Again, this is just stuff that's happening within you. Equal education memory. The human subconscious mind, the reasoning mind, and the superconscious mind represent the God of creation. You see those three? See that trinity there? And then you got people out here in their belief systems. Well, some people be like, no, it's only about Jesus Christ. Everything else is the devil. You have a devil with you. And they're man, like my brother Todd said, you want to find somebody vile, you want to find somebody evil, find a believer. Because they'll be ready to cast you to hell and say you got devils with you and all that stuff, and then don't recognize that they are doing and being that which they're accusing you of. That's really tough, man. That's blindness. All human beings are equally endowed with inalienable rights, which means your rights can't be leaned on. Because you have a subconscious mind, a reasoning mind, and a superconscious mind, which means that God pertaining to creation is within and only within. Fourth day, Mercury, Wednesday, is derived from dies Mercuri, Latin, not Lane, so to say Latin, meaning the god of forethought, namely woman and sons, the god of the wind and the creation of the world, right? The calling upon of the wind, right? Remember, we just saw what God is. Again, so many ways we know God is to call upon. God is the divine mind idea, wind being air pertaining to thoughts. But anyway, in North American barbarian mythology, the planet Mercury, mind, is referred to as Moses, Socrates, prophet, and Odin, and Odin's day, meaning Wednesday, chemistry, right? Odin's day, Wednesday, Odin's Wednesday. You hear it? Anyway, and continuing, chemistry. The planet Mercury also governs freedom of speech, freedom of thought, and the press. The planet Mercury is exalted in New York and Boston, U.S.A. in the sign Virgo, 180 degrees, the last of the North Gate. Fifth day, Jupiter. Thursday is derived from jeudi or juvis, or pardon me, uvis, if we're doing Latin, if I'm remembering that correctly, uvis. Uvis. Latin meaning wisdom of medical science, health, wealth, and progress, gold. In North American barbarian mythology, the planet Jupiter is referred to as Jupiter or Saint Peter, like Jupiter or Saint Peter, and Thor. Thor's day, meaning Thursday. Thus, Odin and Thor are the first two major mythical gods of the North American barbarian tribes, right? Odin, which is dealing with Wednesday, right? Mercury, Thor, dealing with Jupiter, right? So that's Gemini and Sagittarius, right? Because they're 180 degrees from each other, right? We know that Gemini is the last sign of the East Gate, where Sagittarius is the last sign of the West Gate. Jupiter is exalted in the region from Hawaii, to California in the sign Cancer. Sixth day, Venus. And with you be peace. Wa alaikum assalam. Right? Wa alaikum assalam. Moorish Latin. Friday is derived from Freya or Frigga, Latin meaning lady of love or woman, the god of creation, of suns, unity, music, peace, and enjoyment, and rested or relaxed on the seventh day. In North American barbarian mythology, Freya is phrased in the sixth day God created heaven and earth and rested on the seventh day. In reality, woman and sons recorded the names of the mythical gods as weapons of power over one another, from which has resulted in human mental slavery on a universal scale. See, I told you guys, this is all we've been doing with this stuff. Taking these mythologies, superstitions, religious-isms, and mysticisms, we've just been using them as weapons to, to control one another. The family feud must stop. All that pale skin against copper tone, all that's got to stop. Period. What's the purpose of your orders, your secret societies, if you're not doing what I'm reading and saying respectfully? I'm not saying you gotta listen to me, follow what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just the truth. So, all you got to do is be and live truth. Venus is exalted in the 12th sign Pisces in the region of Java, East India, 360 degrees opposite N.Y. New York, U. S. A. 180 degrees. Seventh day, Saturn. Saturday is derived from Saturn, Latin meaning the elements of lead, tin, carbon, coal, dye, and diamond. And the 90-degree span or 7-day change of the face of the moon. Moon and Saturn, which is reminding me of Cancer and Capricorn, which is 180 degrees from each other. These are the rulers of the solstices. The time market of, or maybe time marker of the universe and evolution and restriction. The planet Saturn is exalted in the seventh sign Libra in the region of Brazil from November 1950 to 1953. And then, 30 years from those dates, you can see it again. So it happened between 1980 and 1983 when Saturn was there. Then go 30 years again, right, would be 2010 and 2013 when Saturn was in its exaltation, transiting over the Libra region pertaining to the geographical zodiac. The descendants of North American barbarians known as the Jewish, Muslim, Mohammedan, Catholic, Christians, religious mythology are founded upon Freya, Friday, and Saturn, Saturday, or the planets Venus and Saturn. The descendants of the North American barbarians are also referred to in religious mythology as the tribes of Ishmael, meaning priesthood, tramps, thieves, robbers, and murderers by trade. As the result of ignorance owing to religious mythology, the Ishmaels, quote unquote, were in power throughout North America prior to the Union of 1863. Ransom was one of their greatest procedure for money or land. I mean, he was obviously kidnapping people. The Ishmaels, quote unquote, were in power throughout North America prior to the Union of 1863. Ransom was one of the greatest procedures for money or land. I did that twice. The Ishmaels, quote unquote, again, laid the foundation for Wall Street. So ransom could also be not just kidnapping people, just for resources too. Oh, you want this resource? Well, give me this. Well, give me that. Well, give me this in exchange for this, which would be the abuse of, the dollar system. Again, this is evidence of that. N.Y. New York, right? Feudal imperial Rome. The Ishmaels laid the foundation for Wall Street. N.Y., New York. Feudal imperial Rome. Sheesh. Providence, Latin. The term providence is derived from Latin. Happy Holy degree, Slime. Happy Holy Venus degree. Mother Sahara says, wow. Yeah, that's why I said I'm so glad we're going over this. Like I said, we're complete reading all of C.M. Bay's literature today, and then Sunday we will be complete with our Holy Quran devotional countdown. And I trust by Sunday it'll be 507 videos that have been freely shared as I'm studying with you guys, and you're seeing my maturation through these 507 videos, while sharing that time with other Moors in most of those videos. However, always making sure I'm just showing you guys what my frame in thinking is, what my frame of mind is, period. Providence, Latin. The term providence is derived from Latin meaning prove and provide. That is to say, be guided by scientific knowledge of reality and share it with the unfortunates in order that they might become qualified to liberate themselves mentally and thus solve their own problems. I trust that I've been able to prove and provide just being Brother Hasan to you all. Because again, remember, I went hard not chasing the bag to study Prophet Noble Drew Ali and C.M. Bay's literature, in order to be able to share with ye all my mindset pertaining to this. However, I know that the only ones that are saving anyone is those beings who can liberate themselves mentally and thus solve their own problems. God is science of the human mind, realities, right? So God is, to call upon, we know etymologically, divine mind idea, which obviously is where the science pertaining to the human mind is taking place. If you guys can just make those connections so that you can be brought out of religious mystery, because religious mystery is what have family feuds perpetuating. All right. The devil is religious mythology, unreal, which spells emotional religious insanity. So those people that are like, oh, you got the devil with you. That's why I said they have no idea that they're really speaking about themselves. That's why I said what I said a few minutes ago about that. That's why I said some people, like I said, they're still in their old age, still having an imaginary friend god. Really? Wow. Okay. I guess that's their, plight in life, I guess. All right. Again, the devil is religious mythology, unreal, which spells emotional religious insanity, human hatred, disunity, fear, violence, war, and human destruction. Yeah, because those, believers are very violent. You'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, man. Do your thing. One who only believes in providence, or one who only believe in providence, realities, and self and humanity and knowledge of solution of problems of life, or maybe of life, right? They are violently and secretly hated by ones who believe only in Allah, God, Christ, Jehovah, and Jesus. So what that sentence was saying, ones who, basically have their mind on providence, on realities pertaining to self, humanity, and knowledge of solutions of problems of life, they are violently and secretly hated by those religious mystery believers who believe only in, quote, Allah, God, Christ, Jehovah, and Jesus, end quote. And that's very true. I have not really had too much of an experience with so-called believers of these imaginary friend gods that are really sincerely, kind. Indeed, enjoy your day too, Moor. I really haven't found too many that are sincerely kind. They usually end up, showing temper and anger. Right? Religion, church, temple, and mosque. Right? Such is, oh yeah, yeah. So again, we that deal with reality are violently and secretly hated by ones who believe in Allah, God, Christ, Jehovah, Jesus, religion, church, temple, and mosque. Such is the power of religious insanity. This insanity makes religious people, and when I'm saying religious, and I know how he's saying it too, because he's talking about religious mystery, religious insanity, because religious is just being used as an adjective. He's not talking about religion in terms of binding yourself back to the mindset of your ancient fathers and forefathers, so your days along upon the earth plane, like it's stated sort of kind of in the Ten Commandments. You know what I'm saying? Again, though, to me, again, that Bible, if you're really pulling yourself out of that shallow grave, you need to see it as an astrology book. All right. So, in continuing, this insanity makes religious peoples condemn the very thing which they proclaim to love, namely the living truth. And for those that don't know, like I usually, perform, music under living truth, right? Right. That's my quote unquote music performance calling, living truth. Right. But anyway, this insanity makes religious people condemn the very thing which they proclaim to love, namely the living truth, the works of nature, the zodiac, which is in reality themselves. Ooh, that self-hate. Ooh, it is serious. This process of religious insanity makes them unconscious criminals. I told you it was a crime. Unconscious criminals, crucifiers, and murderers by trade. This process of religious insanity makes them unconscious criminals, crucifiers, and murderers by trade. Sheesh. Man. This book belongs to Brother Hasan Ghazi. Thanks to those who so diligently revise these books, The Clocks of Destiny. In no way did information changed from its original content written by CMB in 1947, but only reprinted in the year 2000 Christian calendar year for those seeking the light of truth. And I guess that's coming from, because where you get this particular book from is rbaypublications.com, right? Clock of Destiny, Book 2, Moorish Constitution and Nationality, Progressive National Culture Club, all right? Idnu Umun, Moorish Nation, Latin language. Hikmatun Umun, Moorish Nation, Latin language. Founded by Charles Mosley Bay, right, whose solar return was just 2 days ago on the 6th. And that was also Emmanuel Bembe Muali, his solar return too, Benbe, who has been written in reconstructed, quote unquote, history as Benjamin Banneker. Him and CMB both share 6th March as their solar return. Sam Bay is president and third, 33rd, and 360-degree Free Moorish Master Mason at Cleveland, Ohio, August 1st, 1952. Especially for initiated Masons and Eastern Stars, 3rd, 32nd, and 33 degrees. Valuable stones come in small packages. If you are afraid of this book, if you are afraid of the truth, beware of this book. All right. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions? Let's see. Brother Dunn L says the beauty of it all is its complementary, unifying empowerment while wiping out ignorance and falsehoods. High honors to the prophet. Yes, indeed. Because again, like when you came in, it was like Islam, Islamism. That's why I kind of chuckled a little bit, because I knew we were about to come to that in the book, and I'm just like, wow. And then, I know a lot of Moors are saying things with, genuine, mindset as far as just being kind, right? And endearing, in their thought, deed, and action, so to speak, in that way. And I just trust that, as we recognize, like Brother Dunn says, is, having unifying empowerment, while getting rid of those things that have made us fall global. Just everyone on the planet just made us all fall, because like you said, when it comes to the pale skins and the copper tones, when it comes to everyone here on this planet, we got to stop. There's been enough war and bloodshed and enslaving and hyper taxation, and it's got to stop, man. It's just got to stop. It's over. It's been over. All right. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going Twizzeyes. All right. Just asking y'all, what are your questions, comments, and/or suggestions going to get Twizzeyes? All right. Again, if you all had missed yesterday's presentation, right, the day prior, with Mother Sahar L, we do have archived the video. All righty, we have the video ready for you y'all that will make a donation for the video. All righty. It was Nutrition Fruition, and it's still available for you all. We had a great time, very intimate setting in the Zoom yesterday, as far as us being able to just, collectively participate, because Mother Sahar had, promoted that we interact while she's doing her presentation. And like I said, it just really made for seeing the foundation and where we could really just be as a global community. Actually, we all get over ourselves and recognize that universal peace is what's needed, period. Like all this destruction, war, bloodshed, hatred, all this other stuff that we just read about, it's over with, right? Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude, Brother Hasan. Gratitude indeed, our beloved mother, in whom we are well pleased, right? So you guys already know, you can get the archive. The Cash App is right there, the Caduceus symbol or $, OurAstrologyStreet.
right, is the Cash App. If you want to reach out to me, like, hey, man, I got another means I would like to share the finances if I can. If you don't have Cash App, you can email me, 7HealStar@gmail.com, right? So that's my question, comment, and or suggestion going twice. And along with that question, comment, and or suggestion, you guys can schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session with Brother Hasan Ghazi because pertaining to the principle and give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, and man, know thyself and thy Father God Allah. All that is to say, be astroliterate, solve your social and economic issues via the zodiac. And I trust that, you want to get that boost. Maybe you used to help people backflip and you would put your hands like this and they put their feet on your hand and you help them backflip like that there. That's kind of what I'm doing. Helping you be able to be very acrobatic with astrology. Because again, as you guys can see, we're to use it to solve our social and economic issues. That's it. That's all. We could have so much peace on this planet if we just really follow the instructions and do what needs to be done. Right? So schedule your session with Brother Hasan Ghazi. And like I said, after Sunday, which is, I'm sure it's a graduation for me because I've been seeing just hints of things over these last few days that is a graduation. Not really sure what I'm going to do with presenting on YouTube after Sunday. I'll see. I'll think of something, I guess. Right? Maybe you guys can let me know what you would like to still happen. But I think really showing how the astrology actually is useful. I think that's something that's paramount. Maybe I can still share things to look out for, you know what I mean? As far as major transits that are going to take place, things of that nature. But yeah, going as hard as I have, and by Sunday it's 507 videos. Just need to maybe just take a little break, But that doesn't mean you guys can't reach out to me for astrology. And still, every Saturday we still have TUPAC. So the astrology discussion is still happening on Saturdays, right? So join TUPAC. Remember, you can bring a buddy, right? You guys bring $125 a piece via the Cash App and come and be a part of TUPAC for a lifetime with that. All right, you will not be disappointed. All right. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going through. Get through his eyes. Right? That's where I say be ye selves and donate. All right. So with that being said, guys, we're going to do our invocation out term, the Moorish American prayer. We want to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. And as we're standing like this, we'll have our feet on a 45-degree angle while we're facing directional east, which denotes going within. All right. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, noble Drew Ali. Ameen. All righty, guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. This is the portion where I will say to you all, make sure when you go and get your victuals, you speak positive affirmations over all the energy that you are willing to take in. Even though, man, the thing, y'all just gotta get it. Y'all gotta just make your donation, all righty, for that video so you can hear what Mother Sahar and see what she presented, you know what I'm saying, as far as when it comes to the victuals, right? Things of that nature, man. Like, you guys are going to really enjoy that. All right. So, and it's already uploaded. All right. Also, so, don't be shy. Send your donations, right? And after 507 videos freely done on YouTube, that's not including all the other videos that we have archived within Google Drive that are actual classes. Maybe I'll do something where I'll give a solid number so you guys can maybe access multiple things, if not all things. I'll think of something, because it's a lot of work that I've accomplished with one, studying for 2 years. However, what I've been presenting and going hard and either going live here on YouTube or archiving things in Google Drive, at least for the last 3.5, maybe even 4 years, along with having Prophet Noble Drali University as a free resource for you guys. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot that I have for you guys, right? So with that being said, that's a very interesting question. Maybe there's some homework there. You guys want to check that out. Rose Reed says, how old is the word zealot? That sounds like some homework to go and do, guys, and enjoy that, right? And I look for you guys to be supportive, right? In, sharing your energy in the form of, donations via Cash App or any other means you would like to, at least inquire about, whether it's, Google Pay or Apple Pay, or maybe even Zelle, maybe, if we still have that available, right? And I look forward to you guys supporting, all this work that I've, done. I mean, and it's it's a lot, right? However, maybe I'll have to set something up and package it in a way where I'll give you guys all access for a lifetime to all the classes that I've done, all those things that are not freely given. Like, Prophet Noble Drali University is free. These 507 videos by Sunday are on YouTube. However, all the classes that I've done that are archived on Google Drive, I'll find a means to make that happen for you all. I'll think of something, just run a special for a short amount of time. However, Mother Sahar says, let's support our brother's dedication and sincerity. Gratitude indeed, Mother Sahar, for that. Yes, gratitude indeed. And okay, so Rose Reed retracted that message. All right. And Brother Tyro says, peace and love, everyone. Peace and love, Brother Tyro, if you're just coming in. We are going to yield the floor now. You guys can look at the replay. This is great. We are now complete Clock of Destiny Book 2. Yeah, I'm joyful, I'm grateful and thankful. Because I did dedicate my life to really studying. And now it's time to graduate and take my place amongst the affairs of men, even more than what I have at this point, right? So with that being said, I love you all. Again, when you go to get your victuals, make sure you speak affirmations over the energy that you will be ingesting and imbibing. Send ye donations to have access to Nutrition Fruition. That video is archived pertaining to Mother Sahar L's presentation on Nutrition Fruition. Schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session with I, Brother Hasan Gazi 7HealStar@gmail.com, or you can text 443-376-8764. And I love you all. When you go to rest and recharge, tonight or whenever you go to rest and recharge well. I love you all. This is where I say to y'all, see you Sunday, and well, I'll see those, next day, tomorrow, for TUPAC astrology concept correction discussion. So where I say to all of you beloveds, right? PayPal, Rose Reed asks. No, there is no PayPal. You know what? I think one of my brothers do have a PayPal, so there is a PayPal available. Rose, if you be sincere, Rose, right? Again, the number is 443-376-8764. You can just text me, or you can email, and I'm just putting this in the chat. 7HealStar, right? At gmail.com. And we can facilitate your PayPal, I think. But just reach out to me. I'm going to reach out to one of the brothers, and we shall see if the PayPal is still available. All right. So there that is. Oh, it put the wrong. Hold on. Remove. Let's do that again. 443-376-8764. I don't know how I made a 4 there. That is bananas. Or 7HealStar at gmail.com. All right. Gmail.com. All right. Boom. There it is. All right. So you guys can reach out to me and we can speak about that. All right. And I trust you be sincere. The account that says Rose Reed. So just reach out, text and or email. All right. And I appreciate ye all. I love ye all. And this is where I say to ye all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love. Peace.